Good day everyone. Today I will present the various types of fishing gears. But before we move to types of fishing gears, first, what is fishing gears? Fishing gears are defined as tools used to capture marine or aquatic resources, whereas how the gear is used in the fishing method. And fishing gears is a physical device or part thereof or combination of items that may be placed or in the water or on the seabed with the intended purpose of capturing, controlling for subsequent capture or harvesting marine or freshwater organisms. Additionally, fishing gears it is kind of equipment. There are types of fishing gears: the active gear, long lines, falling gear, driving gear, and surrounding nets. First, we tackle the active gear. Active gear is a method that depends on the biological reaction of fish to certain physical or chemical properties. And when we say active gear means that the fishing gear is dragged through the water by human, animal, or engine power. That is consume more energy during fishing, more productive than passive type of gear. In mechanical stopifying, it is the way of harvesting or catching the fish that brings danger to aquatic resources. First, hitting a fish directly with any object like stones, clubs, hammers, and etc. At this case, you want to catch a fish like it is throwing stones at a fish that is stunning or injuring a fish. Second, hitting a submerged stone with another where fish is hiding. Even fish is hiding, it is a method to catch a fish like throwing a submerged stone. And third, using a dynamite detonated by blasting cap with a short fuse in three methods of mechanical stupefying. This one is very harmful to catch a fish or harvest. Utilizing dynamite is dangerous because it destroys the marine environment. It destroys important habitat and testing sites for many fish and invertebrate species. Second one is long lines. Long lines is extremely long lines with large series of baited hooks, either set of drafting that requires only periodical attention at more or less a fixed time intervals. Long lines, as the same suggests, it can be set for pelagic or midwater or demersal or bottom fishing, depending on the target species. Baited hooks are attached to the nets at intervals to attract the target species. There are two types of long lines. First, set long lines are lines anchored or fixed and free to move with the current. It is made up of a main line as well as nodes with baited hooks at regular intervals, and it is usually laid on near the bottom. The operation of set long lines is the fish are attracted by the natural or artificial bait, hook, and held by the mouth until they are brought aboard the operating vessel which periodically holds the gear. Second type of long lines is draft long lines, lines without fixed attachments. It has a main line also that is kept near the surface or at a specific depth by using regularly spaced floats and moderately long nodes with baited hooks that evenly spaced on the main line. Long lines drifting on the water can be quite long. The operation of drift long lines are usually set from the stern of a vessel at the end of each unit of a buoy with a flag or lamp is set for making purposes. With the help of the buoy line, the fishing depth can be regulated. The hooks are baited and the branch lines are fixed, and the main line is in general during setting. When the whole lines has been set of the gear is left during a drifting for some time. The third type of fishing gear is falling gear, a type of gear that works on the principle of covering the fish with gear. It is meant to catch prey by falling on them as well as closing in around them. From above can be operated from shore or from a boat, but most commonly operated in shallow waters. The operation of falling gears are clapped over the fish or other animals to be caught, which are thus taken from above. Cover pot or salakab. It is a trap usually operated by one man in a paddy fields, swamps, and rivers at knee depth. When a fish is detected in the water, the fisherman suddenly covers the fish. The gear targets mudfish, gabi, and other freshwater fish. Whereas the operation, the gear is clapped over the prey, and any catch, often a single individual, is taken out through the opening on top. The second, the cover net or panaklob. It is utilized to cover a fish on the bottom in shallow waters. And third, cast net, a conical net which forms of circle covering the fish. Also, small wets or lead lines are placed around the edges of the nets to help them settle as well as encircle any fish in their path. While some anglers utilize cast net fishing as their primary way of catching fish, most anglers use it to catch small bait fish to use as bait for larger fish. It is designed to catch jumping fish or flying fish. The catching principle is that the net is thrown flat upon the water surface and catch the fish by falling and closing in on them. Their use is usually restricted to shallow waters. The operation of cast net requires considerable knowledge and skill from the fisherman. Fourth type is drive-in gear. A gear uses a scare line or other devices to frighten the fish toward the net. The harvest of the fish is affected the lifting process of the nets. This gear utilizes a line to catch a fish in shallow waters by lowering them into netting with noise and other methods. The drive-in net or kalaskas, it is the scaring line often used to entice fish into left net or punch it. This gear is used to capture the fish, usually in shallow waters, by driving into the netting by noise and other means. Second, moroami. It is a Japanese fishing gear used in rough fishing that consists of movable bag net and two detachable wings that capture fish by spreading the net in an arc around reefs or shoals and driving the fish from the reefs toward the bag portion with the help of scaring devices. Also, based on my research, in 1806, the Department of Agriculture banned moroami in the Philippine waters because of the tremendous damage it causes to coral reefs. And last but not the least, surrounding nets. Fishing devices made of long walls of webbings. Capture of fish is by surrounding the fish not only from the side but also from the beneath. It is also the enormous netting walls that encircle gathered fish from all sides and from below, that preventing them from plugging below and escape. These are surfaces nets with a few exemptions. They catch the fish by surrounding them, both from the sides and from the underneath, rather, thus preventing the target species from escaping by diving downwards. Ranholsin or sapiao, it is similar to a deep net with a center bunt that pays in an arc around a school of fish. Fish are drawn to lights and even then hold onto two boats using pole ropes tied to the net's lower half. Additionally, the round hole scene boats or sapiawan are appropriate for boat catching and fish carrying operations. Second, persin or pangolong, a large wall of netting deployed around an entire area or a school of fish that the scene has floats along the top line with a lead line treated through the rings along the bottom. Once a school is fish is located, a skiff encircles the school with a net. The lead line is then pulled in piercing the net close on the bottom, preventing fish from escaping by swimming downward. And searching for fish aggregation, then checking the fish species and evaluating school sizes and its catchability prior to surrounding it is the major part of a purse seine operation. Rang net or kob act in a similar method to purse and nets, which are much larger. A shoal of fish is encircled by an encircling net, which is then pulled together by a rope beneath the net enclosing the shoal. Most of the rang net boats work on two boat system, which is much handier when the net has been towed with a suitable shoal or of a fish is located and both vessels are ready. The vessel will drop its marker light over the side and proceed around the side of the shoal, paying out bridles and net. Next, scoop nets or gayad. In that coastal water, scoop nets are commonly used. A net and two poles to hold the net open are all that is required for fishing. A fisherman operates a small version of such a net by hand, whereas larger nets are moved by engine-driven boat or any sizes between a long-tail boat and a trawler. It works the fishers hit the rocks with their feet, which scares the fish into the scoop nets. The line of fishers repeats this process until they reach the end of the rapid. And last, tapsin or pangulong, it is any sort of net, usually whole seine, deployed across the mouth of a bay or the beach or other limited body of water that may be cause finfish to be stranded behind the net as the tide ebbs. It is referred to as a stop scene or stop net.